burnt umber, I'm going to leave, I think, uncoated. I think that works fairly well. So we'll move over to the rear end of the animal. Oh, I forgot to say that while the paint was drying, when I came back to the painting, I realized that because in the reference, both these animals are in a field and you're kind of looking down on the field, the way I've put my drawing or created my drawing is, and relative to the horizon line, it looks as if this little guy is standing up on a little hillock or something that's been obscured by the one in front. And I spotted that quite a while ago, and I just forgot to mention it, on the soundtrack here. So, but I decided to keep it as it is. I just quite like the effect. It makes it just a little bit unusual, I think, in terms of composition, but it is sort of believable. Up on Dartmoor, for example, if this was on Dartmoor, there could well be a rock there or just a little mound of earth or something. So definitely a plausible explanation for the composition, but I kind of like the fact that it's come out that way. So again, I'm keeping some of this burnt umber showing through, but I'm just taking care to cover the little patches of white paper that were still showing here and there. And then, having applied that orange, I can grab a little bit of the titanium white and we'll just lighten the orange a bit and begin to add some highlights. Again, not over sort of thinking it, just trying to stay as large as possible in terms of mark making within reason. So yet again, using the little frayed ends of the brush to flick little bits of paint so that we end up with a frayed edge to the silhouette of this animal. Now, while that paint is drying, I'm going to come back in and grab some of the burnt umber blue mix that I used for this animal here, and I'm going to mix that in with the darker green, which pretty much run out actually, so I'll have to remix that. Let's grab some of the ultramarine blue, some of that burnt umber. That looks to be like a fairly decent shadow colour. It's not quite as dark as I was intending, but nevertheless, we will see how it works. So my idea here is to just begin to describe some of the shadow being cast by these animals, because if you remember, it kind of got obliterated really when I did the foreground work earlier. So I think that's working reasonably well. So just to